nighttime.
Now, y'all, we gonna do this video a little bit differently from what I usually do because this video disturbed me deeply. You know, if you are a mother or a father and you have kids, you guys already know what I'm talking about. I mean, if you are a mother or father, you're gonna have kids. You know what I mean. That's how irritated I am. I can't even think straight right now. So this interview is of this woman. She had her kids. She was living homeless in her car, and she just went viral on social media. Everybody's talking about it, but I'm a little annoyed because, in my opinion, everybody who has been interviewed, in my opinion, is guilty. All y'all failed the kids. And this did not add up. Okay? She says, and I want y'all to listen to it because I feel like a lot of the women, and I'm going to post their point of views, a lot of the men and women who commented on this did it from an emotional standpoint. Because when you hear stories like this, you immediately, get a little bit emotionally triggered by something like this, right? So I don't feel like a lot of them did their due diligence. I feel like a lot of them added to stuff. I feel like a lot of them, this is my time to stand on the fact that men ain't shit, and this is the time to stand on the fact that women ain't shit. Like, it was too much. So I wanted to listen to it for myself and come up with the opinions myself. And then you guys can leave your comments below. A couple of these women kind of pointed out some things when it was like, wait a minute. But a lot of other women are just like, we just gonna go down and attack the baby daddy because he ain't shit. Okay. And a lot of the men were like, well, we gonna attack the baby mama because the babies died in her care. So, but I want to address it from my standpoint. First of all, this story don't even add up to me. When I first heard it and I heard the grandma, I was like a little weirded out when I don't know what happened. That's what I heard when she probably didn't say it like that, but that's how I heard it. So that made it weird for me. Then the grandma said the car ran out of gas, but then the baby mama said she rushed to the hospital. So I don't know. It's just, y'all listen to this and then y'all tell me what's going on.
Yesterday, I woke them up to wake them up from school. My son wasn't moving. And I kept saying, Freddie, please get up. Please. Please, for me, just get up. Don't do this to me. And I tried to give him CPR because I'm a senior and a medical assistant. I've been working there since I was 17. I tried to give him CPR and I was just giving him CPR. I just kept saying, Freddie, don't leave me. Don't leave me, please. I saw the green and brown stuff come out of his mouth. I instantly rushed him to the hospital. I was yelling out the window, stop. We got to get through traffic. My baby, he's dying. We get to the hospital. I told valet, can you go get some help? He took too long, so I got out the car to get help. They came to the car, instantly grabbed my baby on his head, get a stretch. He's not breathing. I feel like it wasn't daytime. I did everything I was supposed to do. They had everything. Everything they wanted. Only thing they didn't have was a house. But from electronics to clothes, anything they asked me for, my kids didn't even get whooped. I lost the one who made me a mother. I lost a 2-year-old. It hurt losing 2 kids in one night. I don't wish this on nobody. And if you can get help, please go get help. Because I don't want nobody else to go through what I'm feeling. Just wherever you can get help from. If it's not from the city, the state, no other city or state, just go. Like, you don't have to suffer. Help. Cold blue. Everybody tried. I didn't even know my 2-year-old was dying. I was in it with my 9-year-old. And they brought her in right after they pronounced him dead. And my mama came to me, she said, Yaya. That's what we call her, but her name is Amelia. We just call her Yaya. And they said she wasn't breathing. And they pronounced her dead too. I asked everybody for help. I called out of state. I called cities I didn't know. I called cities people asked me to call. I even asked Detroit. I've been on cam list for the longest. Everybody now wants to help. After I lost 2 kids, I've been asked for help. I asked the wrong people for help. But that was the only thing I did wrong.
I guess maybe I'm just the only one who would think like this. But at a time like this, me personally, I wouldn't be blaming other people. I would blame myself more than anything. I wouldn't say what the only thing I did was wrong with that. No, I did everything wrong because I failed my babies. I wouldn't even be thinking about nobody else. I would be thinking about what I did wrong as a mother. But that's just me.
Tatiana, remembering how many times she reached out for a place to live. She asked the father of the 2 kids that died.
He had an excuse every time. Either he's working, they can't come where he living. He live with a female and the parents and them don't want kids there or something.
So when did it become a thing to where you could just bring your kids to people's house? And I'm saying that because you talking about this man's girlfriend's parents, not this man's girlfriend, this man's girlfriend's parents, which means he homeless too, don't he?
In their 2002 Town and Country van since November, but the kids had everything else.
They ate every day, all day. Goodies, food. They didn't want for nothing. Every day they went to school. I had one mistake.
And the kid's grandmother, 49-year-old Yvette Goodman, was also in the van that day. Did the van run out of gas?
I have no idea what happened. I have no idea.
Did you fall asleep?
Yes.
And then when you woke...
Only night I fell asleep. I usually be woke.
And when you woke up, what happened?
My grandson wasn't moving.
My cousin made a mistake and look at how the world is judging her. My cousin made a mistake and look at how the world... My cousin made a mistake and look at how the world is judging her.
The cousin of the mother who took her 5 children and their grandmother to the 9th parking lot level of the Hollywood Casino early Monday morning. And when the gas ran out of their car, so did the heat. And when the gas ran out of their car, so did the heat. And when the gas ran out of their car, so did the heat. And 2 of her kids, a 9-year-old boy and a 2-year-old girl, froze to death. A 9-year-old boy and a 2-year-old girl froze to death.
She asked for help. She asked the right people. She was scared of what the world would think of her, so she did privately the right thing. She asked the city, and what they do, they told her they couldn't help her.
3 months.
They said it was carbon monoxide. Or I don't know what it is. There's so many stories going around. I haven't even got the right story for my own kids. But one thing I do know is they could never be cold in their car. Because I keep gas in their car. I do what I got to do to keep them kids with heat. So it's not hypothermia. My kids could have never froze to death. But one thing I do know is they could never be cold in their car. Because I keep gas in their car. I do what I got to do to keep them kids with heat. So it's not hypothermia. My kids could have never froze to death.
Hey, my good cousins, let me tell you about Tatiana. Tatiana was an unhoused woman with 4 children in the dead of winter in Detroit, Michigan. She didn't have any money, so she pulled into a casino parking lot, turned her heater on, and when her car ran out of gas, her 2 children, she had 4 children in total, 2 of her children, a 9-year-old and a 2-year-old, passed away from hypothermia. Now turned her heater on, and when her car ran out of gas, her 2 children, she had 4 children in total, 2 of her children, a 9-year-old and a 2-year-old, passed away from hypothermia.
But one thing I do know is they could never be cold in their car. Because I keep gas in their car. I do what I got to do to keep them kids with heat. So it's not hypothermia. My kids could have never froze to death. But one thing I do know is they could never be cold in their car. Because I keep gas in their car. I do what I got to do to keep them kids with heat. So it's not hypothermia. My kids could have never froze to death.
And if you thought that video we did yesterday about the mom who lost her 2 children to homelessness and hypothermia was sad,
So it's not hypothermia. My kids could have never froze to death.
Wait until you hear what the baby father had to say, because they found him.
I went to the gym. As soon as I got on the treadmill, she called saying, "Can I make it to the hospital right now?" They got him. I was hoping it was a sick joke, but it wasn't.
According to Detroit police, 9-year-old Darnell Jr. and 2-year-old Amelia died while sleeping in a vehicle at the Hollywood Casino at Greektown parking garage. Investigators say the cause appears to be hypothermia.
But one thing I do know is they could never be cold in their car. Because I keep gas in their car. I do what I got to do to keep them kids with heat. So it's not hypothermia. My kids could have never froze to death.
A tragedy stemming from homelessness.
I tried. I asked for help. I asked everybody, even people out of state. But I tried. I tried to keep hotels. I tried to pay people to stay there. It wasn't working for me. You know, people just didn't like too many kids at their house.
I spoke with the children's mother Tuesday evening. She told me she's been living in her vehicle for 3 months, along with her 4 kids, her mother, and 2 teenage siblings. She says she reached out to Curry, who's the father of 3 of her children.
I asked him, I said, "Can you get your kids for me?" I said, "I need help. You know I'm homeless. I done kept a room this long. I couldn't keep it no more."
They were homeless. Had Tatiana ever reached out asking to...
No, she did not. All she said was, "Can I get them? Can I get them just to get them? And can I get them because y'all homeless?" That's 2 different things.
She said she had been homeless for 3 months.
See, I saw it. That's what I saw, about 3 months, but she ain't never said nothing to me. Nothing. So all them other sob stories, they can cut all that.
He stated that if she had mentioned the fact that she was homeless with the children, that he would have gotten the kids. He said homelessness and just come and get the kids are 2 separate situations. Miss me with all that mess. And the news reporter also asked, well, do you have family? Do you have anybody who could have come and help her? And he said, yeah, I have family, but we live miles away. And she never reached out to my family. She never told me she was homeless. So I wasn't going to just get the kids just to be getting the kids.
Y'all, he had more to say, but the part where he said, cut the sob stories like she didn't watch her children take their last breath.
Why? She wanted to drop their kids off to him.
She just asked, "Can I get them for a couple of days?" But I told her I'm working and all that, and I'm out here. We're not close to each other, so I couldn't. But she knows all my family is right around the corner from her.
Did she reach out to any of your family?
No, she did not.
And the news reporter also asked, well, do you have family? Do you have anybody who could have come and help her? And he said, yeah, I have family, but we live miles away. And she never reached out to my family. She never told me she was homeless. So I wasn't going to just get the kids just to be getting the kids.
And she knows she could have, like we always used to do.
He says the last time he held his children was a month or 2 ago, and that they typically FaceTime, moments he will miss. And there's a police investigation into this that you would like to see come of this. Obviously, nothing's bring back your 9-year-old and your 2-year-old.
It doesn't matter to me. Can't get them back, so it's whatever.
I know a lot of people are saying in the comments like, oh, where's the dad? Where's the dad? There's the dad. There he is right there. Didn't care, didn't have a care in the world that his children were sleeping from, bed to post, or however it is you guys say that. He didn't care. He said, oh, I'm going to miss the FaceTimes. But you didn't say you missed the being actually physically connected to your children. You didn't miss that part. You just missed the convenient FaceTimes while you hung out and gallivanted at the gym. And the part where he said, cut the sob story. Like, when I saw this interview, I was like, this interview can't be real. Cut the sob story? Those are your children, 2 of the 3 that you had with her. And I guarantee you, he probably wasn't paying her $1 in child support.
Not gonna lie, he did cry during the interview. He did seem, to me personally, he seemed like he didn't have any remorse at all. But he could just be hurting because he knew he could have changed the outcome of the situation. And due to his selfishness, he didn't. Either way, this is a really bad situation. This is what happens when single moms try to reach out for help and the father does not like the mom and holds it a grudge against her, and you take it out on the kids. You're doing everything you can just to prove to that person that you don't like them so much, that you're not going to help them by any means, that it's trickling down to the children, and this is the end result. You could have saved those kids. You didn't have to help her. You didn't have to help her. You didn't have to house her. You didn't have to food her. Those were your children. You should have at least helped your children. No questions asked. It doesn't matter why she needed.
In a car on the 9th floor of a casino parking structure, the Hollywood Casino.
So I'm sure everybody has heard about this woman whose kids, she had, I don't know how many kids she had a few kids. 2 of them died of hypothermia, right? They were homeless and sleeping in a van along with her mother, which had been the grandmother of the kids. And I always say what people think, and because I don't have filters, and I bite my fucking tongue for nobody, but I know I'm not alone in this shit when I say there's some shit to this. Rest in peace to them babies. They're innocent in this shit. But I just feel in my gut from the moment I saw her face, it hit my gut. And then I'm listening to the story and hearing her talk. And I'm like, something's not right. Something's not right. And I pictured, that's how my mind thinks. So a picture pops in my head of why my gut is feeling how it is. Every time I get a bad gut feeling, I don't know what the fuck that is. Maybe I'm intuitive. Fuck, I don't know. But I saw her in a courtroom. God forbid that's what the outcome is. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. I've been there for a drug case. But anyway, so I got a video of the grandmother. It strengthens the feeling I had in my gut. Check this out.
And the kid's grandmother, 49-year-old Yvette Goodman, was also in the van that day. Did the van run out of gas?
I have no idea what happened. I have no idea.
Did you fall asleep?
Yes.
And then when you woke...
Only night I fell asleep. I usually be woke.
And when you woke up, what happened?
My grandson wasn't moving.
And y'all posted a video of the dad being interviewed by the news and ragging the fuck out of him. But let me tell you something. If somebody knows some shit's in the game, it's definitely going to be him. I do not dismiss this man by any means, because if the mother is homeless with her daughter in the van, you knew who you was laying down with and having kids with. So you ain't much better, sir. But at the same time, he knows some shit's in the game. Maybe I don't know what happened. I hope it wasn't no foul shit happened. But my gut is just not sitting right with this one. It's just telling me some foul shit happened. I get it. Like, I know how Detroit's set up. But you picked high up in a parking garage of a casino. So, and when I heard that, like, I get it. You use parking garages when you're home. I get it. But that shit don't sit right with me either. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. But I feel like by now, today, was it been 2 days now? I'm sure the police know a lot more that we just haven't heard yet.
I don't care what anybody has to say. Something is off about that woman who let her kids pass away in that van. I swear, y'all, I've been seeing so many interviews with her family, all these people that just popped up out of nowhere. Where were these people at when those kids needed them? Where were these people at when them kids were freezing to death in that van? And I'm not trying to be funny, y'all, because I used to be homeless. I used to be homeless with my son for a few months. But not ever have I let my son sleep in a freezing cold parking garage in a freezing cold van. And then the grandmother said she was there and she fell asleep. Why did you not freeze? She said she was in the van with the kids when they fell asleep and passed away in their sleep, but she didn't freeze to death. What did you have? Did you have a blanket that you refused to give your kids, or what happened? And they're all crying, but I don't see no tears coming out their eyes. I can notice that. It's called body behavior language analysis, y'all. Something is off. And I'm not going to, I don't care what anybody has to say. I have situations where I really feel bad, for the parent and for the other person who's in the situation. But it just, something about this is off. Like I said, go look at the interviews. All these people coming out her family saying that, oh yeah, they never helped her. Why didn't you help her? Why didn't you let her stay with you? Why didn't you let the kids at least stay with you so they have somewhere to sleep? Something's off about this, y'all. Especially with her saying, the grandmother saying that she was in the car when it happened. She fell asleep and she woke up. Why did you wake up?
So I just watched a news report about 2 little kids passing away from hypothermia in their mother van in Detroit in the casino parking lot. Let's get into it. This story is going to revolve around a 29-year-old female whose name is Tatiana. Now, Tatiana has 4 kids, and she was living in a 1-bedroom apartment with her mother and her 4 kids. One thing led to another, and they got evicted. And with that being said, They became homeless as of November 2024. Now, Tatiana says she reached out to multiple people. She reached out to multiple people. She said anybody and any agency that would either allow her to come in and explain her situation, she told them. People gave her numbers to call, people to call, places to go. She went down each and every avenue, and she still got no help. Now, Tatiana says she did everything. She says she did everything. She did everything. Everything. She asked for help from everybody, but nobody would give Tatiana and her kids and her mom help. So with that being said, they started living out of their van. Now, Tatiana also said her kids wanted for nothing. She said, my kids wanted for nothing, electronics, they always had food, they had clothes, they had everything that they needed except for a home. And we're going to come back to that. Now, Tatiana said that her truck ran out of gas. That's why they was parked where they was at. And as y'all all know, when any vehicle run out of gas, everything goes off. Tatiana said she woke up and she looked at her 9-year-old son and she noticed that her son wasn't breathing. So she said she immediately started doing CPR. She's doing CPR and she's yelling out, don't do this to me, son. Son, don't do this to me, son. Don't do this to me, son. Don't do this to me, son. She said then her son started foaming from the mouth. So she know what that meant. So she said she sped down the highway to the hospital. Tatiana said she read all types of red lights and she had her head out the window and she was yelling to people, my son is dying. Get out the way. She pulled up at the hospital. She pulled up by the valet. She told the valet, please go in there and get someone. She said that the valet man took his sweet on time. Ain't no way. So she said she jumped out. She ran up in the hospital. She got all the nurses and the doctors. She said I ran in there saying cold blue. Tatiana said all the doctors and the nurses and stuff came out with a stretcher. They put her 9-year-old son on the stretcher and rushed him into the hospital and started working on him. Baby, she had to be a wreck. And after about 15 minutes, the doctors came out there and they told her that there was nothing that they could do, that her son passed on. God bless. Immediately, of course, you know, she broke down. But that's not it. As she was breaking down, her mother came in. And her mother was screaming and yelling and was crying, Yaya is dead. Yaya was her 2-year-old daughter. Okay? So while she noticed her son, and she was trying to help her son, her daughter was back there dying. She lost both her kids, y'all. She lost both her kids. They interviewed the grandmother, and they asked the grandmother what happened. The grandmother said, I don't know what happened. The only thing that I know is we ran out of gas, I fell asleep, and I woke up to the commotion. Now, Tatiana says she even asked the 2-year-old and the 9-year-old father, because they had the same father, asked him, I need you to come get these kids. I need you to come and get the kids. Guess what he said? He told the reporter, yeah, she told me to come and get the kids, but she never told me she was homeless. What? What? So you just wasn't even in your kid's life at all. This is what I'm gathering. This is what, let's make sense out of it. She needed to tell you that she was homeless in order for you to come and get your kids. And you couldn't have been up in your kid's life because if you was, you would have known that they was homeless. Yeah, buddy, you're at fault too. Then they even interviewed a cousin of hers. And her cousin agreed with Tatiana. She said, yes, my cousin Tatiana, she did everything in her power to try to help, to try to get help. She called other cities. She called other states. Nobody would help her. But you're around her. That's your cousin. She got 4 kids sleeping in the van in Detroit. And God knows it's very cold in Detroit. And you didn't offer her a place to stay? Or you didn't offer to help? Yes, sister, you're part of the problem too. Yeah, you're part of the blame too. Yes. In my eyes, you're part of the blame too. And now Tatiana is crying, or she's up there and she's crying. But honestly, guys, I did not see not one tear drop down. Yeah, she was sniffling and crying. So yeah, they want to help me now that I have 2 kids that's gone. Why didn't it help me before? So you mean you couldn't get no help? Right, so now I'm about to eat your ass up too, Tatiana. Because Tatiana, you said, it came out of your mouth, oh, my kids got everything, electronics, food, clothes, the latest sneakers. They have everything that they need except for a home. Ma'am, so you mean to tell me you couldn't go and sell none of them electronics? You couldn't sell none of them sneakers. You couldn't sell none of that stuff to get a home. Yeah, sis, nah. You're the blame also. Y'all all did them kids wrong. Y'all all did them kids wrong. Yeah, they them kids, I guess they ain't had no chance. Where was the community? Like, that's crazy, y'all. That's crazy, y'all. Rest in peace to the 2-year-old girl and the 9-year-old little boy that lost their life to hypothermia because of their community neglect.
Again, I'm saying something is off about this situation. I don't know what it is, but something is just really, really weird about this situation. I don't understand why the news and investigators are coming out saying it was hypothermia, and she's saying she heard it was carbon monoxide. Who you hear that from? And I don't know. It's just so weird to me. My frustration too is everyone want to say the mama's to blame, the daddy's to blame. In my opinion, all of them collectively failed them children, including the cousin that's sitting there holding her, because it looked like when they went to go talk to her, she was standing on her porch. So I feel like they all failed them. Not just the mom, not just the dad. I feel like they all collectively failed those innocent babies. And there's a lot of rumors floating around, so y'all be careful on what y'all see. But allegedly, and I haven't confirmed this, but I am just going to throw this out there. I have not confirmed this. I've been looking for this, and I haven't seen it yet. But a lot of people were in the comments saying, when I seen what them babies was wearing, no wonder they just had a T-shirt and pamper on or pull-up on and da-da-da-da. I haven't seen that, so I don't know where they seen that at. If I do come across it, I will make a part 2. But so far from what I've seen, I haven't seen it. But shame on everybody, because all of them failed these babies. All of them. And as far as the father goes, he homeless too. Okay? He ain't got his stuff together, just like she ain't got her stuff together. The only thing is different is he got another woman who was willing to take him in with her parents. And y'all can't be expecting other people who don't know these kids and don't know him like that. He lucky he over there. Okay, I know her parents are PO'd, okay? And y'all can't be bashing the girlfriend. Y'all need to know this girlfriend. She ain't spoke out. Y'all say, oh, she this and she. You don't know what this woman is. Y'all relax. Let's get all the information and facts before we start cutting these heads off. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'm out.
We in a no hyena zone. Anti-hyena zone.